Hello students, welcome to all in this virtual classes. This class is meant for BA second year students. The title of the paper is Literature in English 1750 to 1900. Students, in the earlier video, we have already contemplated on the Robert Browning's lifespan and his literary work. In this video, we will learn the introduction of the poem Last Ride Together, central idea of the poem, summary and analysis of the poem, and form of the poem. You know very well that Robert Browning, he is born in 1812 and died in 1889, and his work The Last Ride Together, this poem is a very renowned poem which was issued in 1855. The Last Ride Together was first published in the first volume of Men and Women in 1855, and it was finally included in the dramatic romances in 1868. It is one of the finest dramatic monologues, but later it was classified under romances. The Last Ride Together depicts the ride which a finally dismissed lover has been allowed to take with his beloved. As this boon of a last ride together is granted, she lies for a moment on his breast. As they ride side by side, a sense of resignation comes over the lover. Introduction of the poem Last Ride Together. The Last Ride Together is the Browning's dramatic romances. It is a dramatic monologue. It is a story of a man whose love for a woman has been rejected. The Last Ride Together is in 11-line stanza with a perfect rhyming scheme. The poem has both a love lyric and dramatic lyric. If you see the central idea of the Last Ride Together, the Last Ride Together is the finest love poetry. It deals with emotions of love. It is the story of a man whose love for a woman has been rejected. He is not totally disappointed, neither is she hates him, so the man still wants to have her company. Robert Browning's philosophy of love is an important part of his philosophy of life. It begins with the lover getting finally rejected by his lady love after he waited for her for a long time. Actually, he is ready to forget and forgive anything if it needs to be. So with this intention, that man asks for a ride with him, which would be the last ride and their last contact. He politely asks for the permission for that. The lady hesitates but finally agrees. The man explains what he felt after that. He felt as if he got an abundant joy and his blood circulation increased. As the lover is sincere in his love, he does not have any ill will for his lady love, even knowing that they would never unite as lovers. He is very happy in thinking that at last he and his beloved would ride side by side. He knows it is the occasion of a few hours, and yet that occasion is everything for him. It is the life worth living only for that, and after that he does not mind even the life on the earth came to an end that very night. On the contrary, he tells his beloved that the uncertainty is no longer present, as he knew that he would not get her love. But then also he has the great hope or great wish to be united with that beloved. The speaker says his beloved's love was the most meaningful thing in his life, and after he has lost her love, his life has lost all of its meanings and significance. Perhaps they are very close to each other, or they stop for some time. Otherwise, she could not lie for a moment on his breast. It is a paradoxical statement of the man that the lady who has rejected his love would like to embrace him. It gives him a thrilling experience of an evening, the sight of wave-like clouds of the evening sky glorified by the light of the setting sun. He feels proud that he has the opportunity to love her and enjoy her company for a long time. Whether he knew very well that she is going to sacrifice his love, but then also that man, he found an opportunity in their last meeting. He is grateful towards her for the beautiful and blissful moments they had together. Means that man, he don't want to remind or don't want to accept the negative incidents, negative events, whatever happened in his life. Just he is selecting or he is thinking about the positive events which were he had spent with his beloved, and he is not ready to forget that sweet memories about their meeting. That he says that moon and the stars which make a man forget his surroundings, and the scene transports him to have heavenly joy for time being. Also, he experiences very bliss and joy in their meeting. So he is not ready to forget that beloved or that memorable meeting with his beloved. If you see the last ride together this is the poem. This poem is full of overtones. And in this poem described the romantic feelings of lover towards his lady love. That romantic feelings never ends, although their love has been end, but that man's feelings were not end in this poem. He says that person or that man says that the sun and the moon and the stars do not shine simultaneously. The man's feeling is imaginary. As the ride begins and the man's heart that had been afflicted by the rejection by the lady is again filled with joy with their last riding together. Therefore, the last ride together can be aptly described as a love poem. Even if he had forcefully declared his love to her, he does not know whether he had succeeded or failed. It is uncertain. At that time, he has at least the satisfaction of riding by her side. And see, just we can examine, we can highlight here the positive attitude in his life, and just he is focusing or emphasizing on the positivity, positive events, whether there is a full of negativity around him. The summary and analysis of The Last Ride Together. The Last Ride Together by Robert Browning is a monologue of a rejected lover exploring the end of love affair. The title Last Ride suggests that the lover has spent some moments with his love. However, the poet wants to convey through the narrator that rather than the feelings of sad about the end, he should be happy for the love that he underwent and which remains in his memory. The form of the poem, The Last Ride Together by Robert Browning, is a dramatic monologue. It is the dramatic monologue. In a dramatic monologue, a single person, not the poet, speaks out a speech that makes up the whole of the poem. The first person speaker of the poem is the mouthpiece of the poet, Robert Browning, but not the poet himself. This is evident from the phrases like I said, I know, my love heart claim, my mistress, my last thought, I miss, I alone, I hoped, I gave my youth, and I signed, miss, I accepted this all the things. In this way, students, The Last Ride Together, it is the perfect rhyming scheme. This metrical arrangement has not marred the lyrical quality of the poem. Of the many aspects of lyricalism, the emotional aspect is one. The poem is both a love lyric and a dramatic lyric. The lover's one long emotion is clearly identified in the forceful expression of his mind. Though the situation appears to be unreal, the speaker of the monologue possesses only emotion. It finds its vent in various ways. In the first place, his disappointment in his love with her does not come in this way. He behaves as if his love is fresh, whereas it is only a short time meeting, an act of riding together for a short while, and he admits that it is his last riding. But at the last moment, that man is carrying with his full of emotions, and that all the emotions, all the feelings were full of positivity. This way, students, in this short video, I hope you have understood very well the introduction of the poem, the central idea of the poem, summary and analysis of the poem, and the form of the poem. Thank you, students. See you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you all.